So I invite you to join me in prayer. In this time, it is so evident that God is all there is. That we are surrounded in love and support and guidance. And in this beautiful feeling of divine love, I know that each of us are supported. And I give so much thanks for this, knowing the beauty, the grace that gives us courage, that gives us vision. So I open my heart and I call for each heart to open, to receive the blessings that are given to us this morning, the blessings of communing with our friends, with our loved ones, in this service of joy, in the service of truth that gives us each the possibility of new understandings, of new openings, of abundant blessings. And in that opening, I give thanks and I release my word to the power and the spirit. And so it is. I guess I need this. I would like to introduce our guest musician. This handsome young man is a local boy. He's from Petaluma. Bobby Joe Valentine has recently won an award as the Songwriter of the Year from the Coast Songwriters Association. Bobby likes to give honor to those who have a message to share. And he likes to share his message, and we're blessed to have him here this morning to do that. And also, he will be doing a concert this coming Tuesday evening in San Francisco and September in Novato. There are flyers for these at Bobby's marquee over here, and his CDs will be available after service. Thank you.
Okay. This is a song that I wrote called Chase Away My Dark. Hi. Four walls I built of tin,
blocked out the city stars and freedom. And I can't let my feelings in, 'cause I would not know where to lead them. Plus that would mean I need them, and that would be too hard. I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. I broke my heart before, so I know it hurts, no need to show me. And it's been years since I left the shore, and I hear the sirens getting lonely. But I don't want them to know me. I've got too many scars. Oh, how I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. La da da da. La da 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 da. So far this sinking ship, so far she's past the point of leaving. And I am too scared to take the trip to out where the loved and lost are meeting. But the heart is prone to beating, and souls aren't meant to starve. So I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. I need some love to chase away my dark. La da da da. I need some love to chase away my dark. La da 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 da. I need some love to chase away my dark. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. That's great. And, so the last line, I need some love to chase away the dark. And here we have it right here on the altar. This is Sandra Aguirre's altar for today. And there's love and ease and beauty and money on that altar. So that's pretty fun, isn't it, for all of us? And it fits right in with what I want to talk about today. So good morning. I'm Reverend Carol Huntley. If there's somebody here that we don't know each other, it's almost 20 years that I've been here. Can you believe that? It's amazing. It's amazing. I just feel so blessed. I feel so blessed. I think most ministers don't stay one place for 2 decades, and I think we really, really know each other, which is wonderful for our mutual growth. So I just want to remind you or tell you, if you don't know, that we have a yearly theme. And the theme this year is based on an essay that our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote called What We Believe. It's the most concise compilation of everything that Science of Mind teaches. And if you don't have a copy of it, there's some right over here on the education table. But what we've been doing is we've taken one of the 12 statements each month, and we're going to continue to do this throughout the year. And so what we are working on right now is this one. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of the individual, and that any person who lives in close contact with the indwelling God may become a revealer of truth. That means you. And not just the prophets, and certainly not me, but all of us can be the revealer of truth if we connect. Because in the statement it says, people who live in close contact with the indwelling God have this, this connection to all that God is. And part of what God is absolute truth. And so as we do our spiritual practice with the intention of getting a closer and closer walk with God, a deeper and deeper experience of the Spirit within, we get closer and closer and closer to ultimate truth. And what happens then is that we have the opportunity just in daily life to speak forth this truth. Somebody is in pain, we get to speak forth the truth in a way that they can understand it. We ourselves are inspired to speak the truth to ourselves. And then what happens is we start acting in accordance with that truth, and more success and more joy and more love and all the qualities on that altar and all the qualities that we yearn for in our heart become more and more a part of our lives, because we are basically very consistent beings. All of us. What we believe and what we speak about and what we act through is the same thing. For example, you are not going to find anybody who talks abundance and prosperity and joy and acceptance and gratitude and lives an impoverished, meager, sad existence. It doesn't happen that way. We are consistent. And when we live in close contact with the indwelling Spirit, it is a spiral up and up and up to greater and greater levels of expression and experience and joy. And you know this, right? You must know this. And you must know people. You must have been reminded already in what I'm speaking. People that you know that are just always happy all the time, and darn it, you know, things just fall for them. And then other people in your life that are so sad and so, you know, hoping and wishing it would be different. And you know it's not going to be that way for them because they're just miserable. You know, spirituality is an inside job. You can't do it for anybody else. You got to walk that lonesome valley, and you got to walk it by yourself. Woohoo! You got to walk that lonesome valley. Okay, that's another day. Okay. Okay, the title today is Revealing Truth in Finances and Supply. Okay, anybody like this? Anybody want more good in this area of their lives? Yeah, okay, we're all in the right place. And the word today is supply. Is that a beautiful, beautiful image? Look at that. The roots are just drawing up nutrients, and the sun is just shining down, and that tree is just making life. So, we've been talking about different learning lodges this month. We've had a week on relationships, we've had a week on health, and this is our week on supply. And the same essential lesson applies. There is capital T truth and there is little t truth. And so I want to differentiate that and then apply it to our idea of supply. So the big T truth, you got to listen really, this is it. The ultimate truth is we are divinely supplied. Period. That's it. We are divinely supplied. That's the law. That's the truth. That's God. That's it. That's the big T truth. So in the Science of Mind textbook, it says, here and now. This is on page 50 if you want to go home and read this and copy it real big and put it on your refrigerator. Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. Let's say this is in big capital letters. I'm going to ask it again. We all just like yell it out. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. And how much of it may we have to use? As much of it as we can embody. That's the answer in capitals. I'll ask it again. And how much of it may we have to use? As much of it as we can embody. Yeah. That's it. That is the ultimate T-truth. That's the truth that we all aspire to live. And it's easier than the opposite because that's the law of life. However, there is the little T truth that we sometimes revert to. The little T truth has to do with not having so much. And you know, when it says we reveal the truth, we reveal whatever level of truth we are at. So, this is a wonderful book, E Squared. It's 9 experiments that you can prove the law to yourself. So this is experiment number 9 on the loaves and fishes. And this is the introduction to this chapter. Most of us, whether we admit it or not, believe life is hard. We believe there's only so much to go around, whether we're talking money, time, or popcorn at the multiplex cinema. Even people with Maseratis in their garage spend way too much time figuring out how to get more. Why? Because they mistakenly believe there's not enough. Even billionaires, even people with an overabundance of resources live under the oppressive spell of there's not enough. A friend of mine was interviewing the wealthy owner of a successful business whose company was launching a new product. Noticing the rabid dollar signs in his eyes, she asked him if there was a profit margin, a success index, a dollar amount of some kind that he would consider enough. The business owner stopped for a moment, sighed, and gave his reply. Man, you just don't get it. There's never enough. That was that person's little T truth. So that's really an example of impoverished consciousness, no matter how much money that person had, right? So what is supply and what is enough? Okay, let's get on the same page here. Supply is money, but more than money. Supply is housing, food, emotional support, spiritual support, money, friends, and connections, and more than that. And what is enough? I think that what is enough is what we require to be comfortable enough to live our life purpose. That's it. Any more is just more stuff to dust. You know, really. More tchotchkes on the shelf to dust. So supply can come to you in a number of ways. Supply can come from gifts, from sharing, invitations to dinner, found treasure, paychecks, the lottery, lots of ways. And ultimately, they all come from God because that is our source. So all of the supply we get comes from that one source, and it's all given. It's all given. It's all given. We tend to think in terms of supply as mostly money. And if we do that, we kind of ignore all those other forms of supply that are waiting to be given to us if we just open to them. So supply can come through many avenues, and money is also part of supply. And all the sources of supply, all the different kinds of supply and money, all respond to the same principle. The principle is the causative nature of consciousness. Now, we talk about consciousness a lot, and it is basically what we hold to be true. It is our conscious and our subconscious beliefs, and it is it's what we actually look through to experience life. And our work in the science of mind is to change our mind so that our life can be enhanced. That's our work. And this is just the most obvious, simple lesson. It's all been given. And if we don't have enough, it's not because it hasn't been given. It's because our consciousness is impoverished. Our consciousness is keeping our good away from us. And so in order for our good to come in and us enjoy it and love it and be happy with it, what has to change? Our consciousness. It's not that God can give any more. God can't give any more relationships. God can't give any more houses. God can't give any more jobs. God can't give any more trees than they're already there. I mean, they keep coming, but it's all given. And so our awareness is what needs to change. So I'm going to tell you a story about two extremes of consciousness, and you get to see where you are. Because another thing I want to tell you, you can't fool the law. You can't fool it. You can't say, I believe in abundance, I believe in abundance, I believe in abundance, and then not, and then have that hole in your heart that is like, there's not enough, really there's not enough. I say that there's abundance, but no, there's really not enough. You can't fool the law. That's what it means. You can have all of the good that God has given you, and you can have as much of it as you can embody. Embodying is that essence of not having any argument. What you say, what you do, what you think, what you dream about. If somebody woke you up from a sound sleep, you can say, I live in an abundant universe. Because you have embodied it. Okay, here's the story. Once upon a time, there was a prince who gave a party. And he invited everyone in the land. It was a lavish, beautiful party. The decorations were gorgeous. The invitations were engraved. The food was unbelievable. And it went on. The table was so long with the food that you couldn't see the end of it. And it was all steaming and beautiful, and except the ice cream, that was cold. And everything was so beautiful. And so the day of the party came, and the people who were invited started to come. And we're going to focus on two guests, an uncomfortable guest and a comfortable guest. So the uncomfortable guest had his invitation in case anybody asked. And he was like a highwayman. He looked scruffy, and he looked dirty, and he looked like he needed a meal. And so he came into this party, and by his very posture, you could tell that he wanted to be invisible. He hunched over, he kept his coat on, and he went down the table of food, not very far, and he put things into his pockets and his mouth. Into his pockets, into his mouth, and then he kind of like looked around, and he took some silverware because he saw that it was also silver. And he filled the inside pockets of his trench coat as much as he possibly could, and then without making eye contact at anyone, he left. So the comfortable guest was a farmer. He had enough. He had enough to have a happy life. He had enough food. He had plenty of love. He had beautiful children that he brought with him. And he entered this hall, and he just took this big breath and realized that the prince had created this party for him. And he walked around, and he looked at the decorations, and he looked at the table of food, and he couldn't see the end of it, and he smelled everything, and he was just having such a good time. And then he caught the eye of the host, the prince, and the prince caught his eye too and came running over to him and threw an arm around the farmer, just like he was his best friend. And he said to the farmer, is this the greatest party you've ever seen? I mean, they went all out. My servants worked for weeks to create this. I love doing this. This is so great. The food, you can't even believe how good the food is. And the decorations, they worked so hard on the decorations. Aren't they beautiful? Everything is just so grand. And I'm glad people are having a good time, and I really want you to have a good time. And I don't want you to hurry through. I don't want you to think that you're going to miss anything, because I know your very favorite thing in life is a pumpkin pie. And I've got a pumpkin pie in the kitchen with your name on it. Nobody else is going to get it. So just have a great time at this party and share. Go out and bring your friends. And everybody have a great time. It's all given. And I love you so much. That's the comfortable guest. So you must get the analogy. The party is life. The party is life. It's the same party. And you can imagine how different the experience was from one guest to another. And the fact that in life, as we look out there, that some people have so much more, and some people have so much more joy. And by the way, we'll just send our love as that siren. It was a fire truck, it looked like. We just have detach a little of our love and send it right on with them, so they're in a cloud of love now. So, where was I? We have people in our life that seem to have more, and people in our life that seem to have more joy. And it's not luck. It is not luck, because it's the same party. It's consciousness. And so when we look at ourselves and how much joy we're having at this party, we may be able to see some of ourselves in the uncomfortable guest and some in the comfortable guest, right? But I'm going to make it really, really, really plain for you. So, why we don't have enough? Or are you the uncomfortable guest? Look at those. This is going to be, it's going to be hard for you to hear this. It was hard for me to think about it. And we're not going to stay here. But if you're here, you know, there's a way out. So first of all, darlings, if you are the uncomfortable guest, it is because you might have a lack of faith. Over and over and over and over and over in the Bible, in all holy writings, there are stories and analogies of plenty, in the Bible, it says it's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Just like the prince who hosted the party. He loved it. He loved giving. He told the farmer to go bring his friends. In the Bible, it says, "Beloved, all that I have is thine." I mean, how much plainer can you get? The story of the loaves and fishes, about looking like it was lack, and then no, it's not lack at all, it's abundance. Over and over and over, we get these stories in the Holy Scriptures, but you don't have to read the Holy Scriptures. You can look out at nature. I mean, look at the abundance of leaves out there. Anybody that can see out there, the abundance of leaves, the abundance of grains of sand, the abundance of the possibility of recreation. You know, the little things that make eggs, they make lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of eggs. And some of them turn into tadpoles and some not, but there's a lot of eggs. And so that, what we look out and see is abundance. And so it could give you a lot of faith to look at that. So you might be plagued by greed, hoarding, stinginess, selfishness, and fear. Now this is the harsh one. I mean, the grabbiness that people have, the holding on that people have, the reluctance to pry their fingers off their stuff and give it. The idea of me first is all based on fear. And I didn't even get into like theft and war, but that's based on the fear of lack as well. And so if you don't think you have any of this at all, great. You might just think a little bit about your experience at the offering time when the basket is passed. You might just think about that. And if there's any remote thing, I should, I can't, I don't want to, they want, and projecting, you know, the selfishness on the people who ask. If any of this brings up any guilt, that's part of it. That's part of the feeling of lack and feeling so bad that you feel that way. You don't have to stay there. A lot of it is because of this next one, a lack of self-love. And this, if this is part of your trip, it's because love wasn't modeled for you. If you were told as a child, who do you think you are? You want that? You want that? You think money grows on trees and things like that? That gets embedded in there, rather than have someone say to you, you are precious and deserving of all good. I don't know how we can create this for you, but I am definitely on your side of creating it. Or letting your child know that there's plenty in the world. There's plenty. And there's plenty for you. Don't worry about it. There's plenty. So that feeling of there is enough and I'm deserving of that. It comes basically down to a belief in lack and limitation. That's the core belief of insufficiency everywhere, that there's basically not enough. So if you look at these statements, this is a harsh world. This is the world that the journeyman lived in at the party. It's harsh. There's not enough. When you look out, other people have and you don't have. It's harsh and sad. This comes from Margaret Wheatley in her book A Simpler Way, and it really says it. At least since Darwin, now remember Darwin, survival of the fittest? At least since Darwin, Western culture has harbored some great errors. We have believed that the world is hostile, that we are in a constant struggle for survival, that the consequence of error is death, that the environment seeks our destruction. In such a world, there is no safety. Who wouldn't be afraid? But it's the same party. It's the same party. So are you ready to get rid of any remnants of this that you might have? Yeah, let's definitely get rid of it. And what we're going to do now is how to be the comfortable guest, okay? Same party, different outlook, but here's the deal. I'm going to tell you some things, and it's you and me that need to embody them. Not think about them, but embody them. So this is our new way of seeing the world. First is expect the best. Really, really, really expect the best. With every effort, expect the best. No matter how many disappointments you have had, every single time you go out there and try, you expect the best. There's a skill in weighing disappointments lightly. And you can learn how to do it. It's like, well, that did not turn out. Oh well. Really? What's next? There is a way to do that. And if you are the comfortable guest, that's what you do. The uncomfortable guest goes, oh, there it is again. And it's embodying a new default position. The default position is, well, it didn't happen this time, but it might next time. And I am going to keep on going out there and giving my best until it does. So weighing disappointments lightly is a very, very, very important skill. And it can be challenging if you have been disappointed a lot in your life and your parents were disappointed a lot in life and the whole energy of your family is disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. It's challenging, but you have help here. You have practitioners. You have me that will help you embody the new way. We can't do it for you, but we can help. Next, be generous, share, give, love. Give and give and give. Sit in your open heart and give. Sit again in your open heart and give. And if you think you have nothing to give, get together with a group of friends and brainstorm what you might have to give. You might have service to give. You might have a smile, greeting, a joyful countenance to give. You might have time to give someone. You might have something in your closet that you could give somebody else. And just as we learned how to weigh disappointments lightly, you weigh your generosity heavy. You say, I gave 2 hours today to help someone pack up to move. I feel so great about that. I feel so great about that. I feel great about the strength in my arms. I feel grateful that I had the time. I feel so grateful that I had the inclination, and I'm so grateful I said yes. And you just think about that, think about that, think about that, and become that generous person that you are meant to be. And then give again and weigh that heavy, and give again and weigh that heavy. And don't think about what I'm saying. Do it. Do it. And embody the feeling. It's not going to change if you don't change. I'm telling you this. Know you are deserving. Because you are here, because you're here in life, because you are a divine being expressing the divinity within you, because you took a body. You are a spirit that came to earth and took a body, and you have something to live into. You are deserving of what will support you to live into that. You are deserving of having enough so you're comfortable enough to live your life purpose. That's it. That you are deserving of that. Next, know that there is plenty for all. And there truly is. There truly is. There's enough days for everybody. There's enough food for everybody on the planet. There's enough space for everybody on the planet. There is enough. You having what is yours to make you comfortable enough so that you can live your life purpose is not taking it away from anybody else. That was when the greedy part in the uncomfortable guest. Now we're in this place of just processing what is ours to do, processing what is ours to have, living with it and giving it away again, just having that flow in our lives. Next, be a good steward. In the time that Ernest Holmes wrote in the 1920s, and 30s, it was still really the custom that more is better. Well, and now we know more maybe not better. You know, you don't need another thing to dust like we decided. Enough is enough. More is not always better. And here's where it gets a little tricky. If you limit the number of things you have, only you know in your depth of consciousness whether limiting the stuff that you have is out of gratitude and freedom or out of self-sacrifice and fear. You get that? The action can be the same thing. I'm downsizing. I'm downsizing because I want more freedom in my life, or I'm downsizing because I'm afraid I won't have enough to pay for it. It's what happens on the inside, it's consciousness. And so to conclude this part of the talk, which is one of my favorite quotes of all time from Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins! Enough is as good as a feast. So look at this world. I mean, it's the same party, right? It's the same party. The other party with that consciousness felt harsh and limiting and scary. This world, same party, feels flowing and expansive and graceful. There's enough of everything. There's enough time. There's enough love. There's enough substance. There's enough money. There's enough of everything. So Ernest Holmes said, "Your financial success already exists, but it is waiting for you to see it and accept it as your own." I'll read that again. Your financial success already exists. It is waiting for you to see it and accept it as your own. So if you have been searching for your financial success and it has eluded you all your life, even after this great talk, you may think, yeah, but it's really hard to change my mind. So I have another story for you about an entirely different subject, but the principle is the same. And sometimes if we look at something that we're not emotionally involved in, it already hurts, if we just look at something else, we can get the principle behind it. So in the 1970s, when everybody was taking those weekend trainings, my brand was actualizations. I did a number of trainings in actualizations when other people were doing EST and LifeSpring and all that. And so in one of the 5-day trainings, there was an assessment at the beginning and at the end. And at the beginning, they ask everybody, well, how are you feeling about your life? How are you feeling about your family? How are you feeling about your job? How are you feeling about your friends? How are you feeling about your spare time? How are you feeling about your sex life? How you're feeling about your health? And all of those areas in our life, all the learning lodges and subdivided learning lodges they ask about. And then they ask the same thing at the end. So I want to focus on sex life because a very interesting thing happened. There were several people in the training who were at the same party. In other words, the details of their sex life had not changed. But at the beginning of the training, they were very unhappy about their sex life. And at the end of the training, they were pretty darn happy about it. And they could not figure out how this was possible since the details hadn't changed. But their embodied sense was, yeah, I got it going here. And so I think it's pretty obvious that when you have 5 days of intensely looking at your life and going through challenges and looking at things you didn't think you could look at and saying things and doing things you didn't think you could and being told over and over and over again what a miracle you are and how you can do anything and have anything and be anything you want, and you're feeling pretty darn good about yourself at the end. And so it stands to reason that you think that there's a lot of potential out there in areas of your life where it looked pretty impoverished before. Can you imagine that happening to a group of 30-somethings? Can you imagine them saying, yeah, my sex life, I have a great vision for this. It's the same with supply. It's the same with this quote from Ernest Holmes, your financial success already exists, but it is waiting for you to see it and accept it as your own. If you get into life and start living and expressing and asking what is mine to do and come to classes and see a practitioner and talk to like-minded people and have that mirrored back to you, you're pretty darn fabulous, you know that? You are an unrepeatable miracle. Anybody would be so blessed to have you in their corporation or in their business or in their project. You're fabulous. Then you start embodying, I am abundant. I got it going here. And that's what has to happen before any change happens in the world. I am here to say that it has to happen on the inside first, and then surely it will happen on the outside. But the shift of consciousness that all practitioners are trained to help you achieve The shift of consciousness is what has to happen first. So, do you have an idea about how you can go into life and experience your abundance a little bit more? Start anywhere on this list. Or perhaps you can start with the takeaway. And write this and say this, and it'll go out in the outgoing letter. I am a deserving, supplied, loved recipient of my good, which I can't wait to share. Let's all say that together. I am a deserving, supplied, loved recipient of my good, which I can't wait to share. Yeah, embody that. Okay, it's yours now. Let's anchor it with the inner work. So the essence of the inner work is this. In reality, we have 10,000 blessings for every complaint. Oh, what an abundant life. And so for a moment, looking at some of the blessings of some of the areas of your life. And so you might think about home. And you might be grateful for the electricity. You might be grateful for the windows. You might be grateful for the threshold and how a big energetic day, you can just leave at the front door or the back door, whichever door you come in, the door from the garage. You can leave it at the door and come into your sanctuary. You might have a favorite object in your home. What a blessing that is. What a blessing running water is. What a blessing a shower or a bath is. And all of that we have. And when you're driving around or riding around this beautiful part of the world, there is a reason that it's called heaven. And we look out at the hills, the golden hills now, with the oak trees sprinkled on them and the cows. We look at people walking their dogs, and we're so grateful for the care that people have for their pets. We're so grateful that people pretty much abide by the rules of the road, and they don't get confused. They drive on the right side in this country, and it all works out, and they stop at the stoplights. What a blessing. There are people caring for their lawns as we drive by, and we're so happy that they take care of the front yard that they don't see very much because they just drive into the garage, but the front yards look so pretty for the rest of us. Such a blessing. And with our family, as much as those beloved people yank our chains, we're grateful that we can look in the face of our relatives and see our own cheekbones, or see our own hairline, or see our own lips. It's a beautiful thing to see the genetic traits that run in a family. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that we have these people in our family or in our extended or chosen family that we have to bounce things off of, have conversations with, and that know us so well we can just take our shoes off and have a beverage and sit back, and we're right there with a conversation because we've left it off and then we take it up again. What a blessing. And so friends and our spiritual community, our work, our dreams, our physical body, so many blessings, 10,000 blessings for every complaint. And may it be that we focus on the 10,000 blessings so that that shift of embodying the party that we want to attend really, truly happens. Blessed be.
Time's moving on. I don't belong. This might be the last song from me you'll hear. So before I go, I thought you should know a few of the things in my heart I hold dear. You are a treasure, and wealth is a measure that's only decided by what you believe. So go where your soul goes, 'cause all ground is hallowed, and you are not shallow for chasing your dreams. Dance with the dancers, question the answers, laugh lots of laughter, but cry lots of tears, and be who you are right from the start. And don't give your heart to the cancer called fear. Yeah, ooh. Talk more to strangers. They might be angels or broken souls that love's left in your care, and some will reject you, but love will protect you, and you will be better for meeting them there. So dance with the dancers, question the answers, laugh lots of laughter, but cry lots of tears, and be who you are right from the start. And don't give your heart to the cancer called fear. No, don't. Avoid pretension, shoot for redemption. Remember that men are not all what they seem. It's true some are devils, and true some are rebels, but most are disheveled and caught in between. So dance with the dancers, question the answers, laugh lots of laughter, but cry lots of tears, and be who you are right from the start. And don't give your heart to the cancer called fear. So dance with the dancers, question the answers, laugh lots of laughter, but cry lots of tears, and be who you are right from the start. And don't give your heart to the cancer called fear. No, don't give your heart to the cancer called fear. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, ooh.
Thank you very much.
Bobby Joe Valentine.
We love you, Joe. We love you. We love Bobby Joe. We love you, Bobby Joe. And remember the Bobby Joe Valentine Mall right over there. Or the marquee. Oh, Joyce called it a marquee. Isn't that adorable? So, ushers, please come forward. So now, this is how clever it is that you get to practice. So, whatever you give, it's a check. It's one of those cards that say, I already give out of my checking account, the automatic giving, or you're giving cash or something. Just contemplate that. And I know that you have given a gift in your life that was perfect for someone. Where maybe it was at a Christmas thing or a birthday thing, and they opened the present and they burst into tears because it is exactly what they wanted. And the feeling that you had about giving, imagine that right now. That this is exactly what we want. Your money given with love, no matter how it is, to sustain this precious place. Oh my God, what a gift. Let's recite this together. This gift I give, is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it's creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. Yes, and so it is. So remember exactly what we want. And as you put it into the basket, just think, I'm so happy I get to do this. Okay, just be bowled over by the joy, ushers. Oops.
God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. He's the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. It's God I'm talking to. I give myself to be used by you. Give myself to be used by you. I give myself to be used by. Everybody sing it to me now. You.
Soft baked snickerdoodles. Somebody put them in the basket. Oh
my God.
So may this offering and cookies be blessed. May they multiply and just bless this community and beyond. And so it is. Oh, that is so adorable. The loaves and fishes, the cookies and the dollars, it's all fabulous. Okay, announcements. First of all, Gail Durkin, stand up please. We don't have a slide for this because we thought it wasn't going to happen, but it is. So if you are thinking about doing Quick Start this afternoon, when does it start? 12:30 at the Learning Center. There's plenty of people, and she is going to hold it. She's a great teacher. Go spend a nice, cool afternoon with Gail at the Learning Center learning about our philosophy. Next, Bodhi's Peace is Now CD release party this Friday. This Friday! Woohoo!
Friday.
Okay.
It's going to be epic. We have about 20 musicians coming, and we're going to chant.
Oh, it'll
We're going to get down with it.
be fabulous.
A piece in.
Yeah, that's right. And after all that chanting, you are going to feel like you are in love, totally healthy, and totally abundant. See? Promise. So just give it to yourself. Forgiveness Day is coming up on August 3rd. This is the 18th Forgiveness Day. And this is Bob Platt's origination, and now it happens all over the world, in pockets all over the world. This is an amazing thing that Bob, a legacy of a lifetime, and it's at Dominican College, August 3rd. And so Bob has flyers about specific times. Give this gift to yourself. You will be so amazed at the power of forgiveness. The altar team next Sunday is having a little get-together right out there, and we're going to bring holy objects from our garage, and my garage, I don't know where you keep yours, and we're going to make beautiful altars and talk about what fun it is to be on the altar team, because we could use some more. We could use some more people, and it's a rotation, depending on how many we have. You do an altar every 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 10 weeks, and so we want to just have fun. And also, Janet has a wonderful idea of just talking about altars that you can make in your office or in your home or as you're traveling. So it'll be great fun. And Reverend Mary is going to be speaking a series 4 Sundays in August when I'm away. And you should not miss this. This is an amazing speaker, teacher, counselor, author, magician lady about helping you shift consciousness, and she is doing a series on the creative law, and she's entertaining. She'll make you laugh, and it's going to be a great month, so please be here. And then Pat Sandry, my darling, there are openings on the Sunday teams, and this is your team leader right here.
Yes, and we do have openings in fact, and it's a great opportunity for service, for giving and generosity, as Carol spoke of earlier. Really, the greeters are out there greeting, they're taking the offering, they're helping with snacks and a few other things. The requirement is 1 Sunday a month. That's all, and I will be over there after service and would love to speak to you about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Then I love this announcement. This is about stacking chairs. We got the message that some of you feel rushed when we start stacking chairs. It's like, okay, it's over, time to go. That is not our intention at all. We have a wonderful bookstore, we have a wonderful garden, we have things to buy, we have food, we have hugs. It's simply that the schedule of returning the rec center to its normal, weekday appearance takes this long. And so we stack chairs to help our staff and our volunteers put things away. Please do not feel rushed. And thank you so much to whoever revealed that, So stick around. We love you, want you. We're not hurrying you out. For goodness sakes, we're not. And so those are the announcements. I would like to invite the practitioners who are ready for prayer, ready for shifting consciousness into the party of a lifetime. These are the ones who are ready today. And with the rest of the practitioners, please surround the room so that everybody can feel like they're in a container of love. That's the whole purpose. And please receive this blessing from me. May you feel and embody the abundance of God. May prosperity follow you all of the days of your life, and may Spirit guide your way. Now your turn with the affirmation. Please stand for the affirmation and closing song. In this universe of plenty, I know there is enough of every kind of good for me. I open to accept my good and remain open to give and receive in the never-ending cycle of blessing.